International superstar Dave Hill here, and this week on the podcast from Orange is the New Black and VEEP, Michael Torpey, comedian Brandon Dzirko, plus New Yorker writer Joe Veix. It's the Novelizers.
Don't want your popcorn, don't want your milk duds, don't want my shoes stuck in pools of sticky cola. Don't show me romance, don't show me fist fights, just show me words printed out under the book lights. Yeah, baby, novelize the movie. Give me sentences, paragraphs, and nothing to see. Yeah, novelize the movie. Write a book and turn it into a podcast.
Welcome to the Novelizers podcast, where we get top comedy writers to turn scenes from classic films into hilarious audiobooks, narrated by actors and comedians. And this season, we're novelizing the classic Batman film, The Dark Knight. As always, I'm joined by my henchman, Steven Levinson. Steven, are you there? Steven?
I'm here, Dave. I'm here.
Whoa.
Thanks for talking to me.
I was terrified for a second. It was dark. I don't know why you make me record in this basement.
Well, the lights get picked up on the mic, so who, pray tell, is joining us and helping us tell the story of The Dark Knight?
Well, file under, don't even get me started, because we got Michael Torpey. He's an actor and writer best known for his work on the hit series Orange is the New Black, which I'm a completist of VEEP, and Inside Amy Schumer, which, yes, I was on an episode. Okay, we don't need to. It's not why we're recording to talk about how I was on Inside Amy Schumer. Stop it, Stephen. And Michael Torpey has also made frequent appearances on Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, the popular television program. Joe Veix is a writer and artist based in Oakland, California. That's near San Francisco, Stephen.
Oh.
Yeah. He recently wrote the short film Channelvue, Stephen. View is V-U-E in that. And he's written for The New Yorker, Wired, McSweeney's, and Vice. Brandon Dzirko. He's a writer. He's an actor. He's an improviser who performs at New York City's UCB Theater. That's right, on ASSSCAT. That's a great show. You're wondering if I've ever been the guest monologist on an ASSSSCAT. Yes, it's been very many years, but yes, I have. Rumpleteaser. And he's also part of Herald Night with The Prophecy. This he's got it going on. He's on TikTok. Brandon and Shane is his TikTok account. And BD Dzirko on Instagram. That's another one of the apps out there.
You know what? I wasn't going to listen to this episode. You just talked me into it. And where are we in the story? The Dark Knight.
I'm glad you asked, Stephen. The Joker has just killed a Batman imposter, and Rachel brings Dent to a fancy party hosted by Bruce Wayne, who arrives in a helicopter. Bruce makes a toast to Harvey, then in a quiet moment on the balcony tells Rachel that he's going to give up being Batman. What? And the Joker kills some more people.
I don't think that's going to stick. No spoilers, but it wouldn't be much of a movie if he just walks away.
Yeah. I don't know why I said Joker kills more people, like he's just making toast or something. Which I'd like to see that as well.
It would be funny toast.
Yeah, in its own way.
Maybe
morbidly
weird,
funny.
Creepy, morbid, yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Torpey. Novelize us.
Yeah. That novelize me and Steven. Thank you.
Novelizers, The Dark Knight. Chapter 9, The Hero with a Face. Novelized by Joe Veix. Narrated by Michael Torpey. Harvey Dent and Rachel Dawes rode the elevator up to the slick penthouse of the Wayne Enterprises skyscraper, dressed to be killed. Dent was tired. Earlier that day, he met with Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Later, Drunk Drivers Against Mothers. The stress was enough to make a man chug a sweet, sweet nip of Absolute, hop in a Chevy Camaro, and crash right into a zoo. But being the hotshot new district attorney came with responsibilities, like staying sober on the job and washing your hands after using the toilet. So here he was, white-knuckling an evening fundraiser at Wayne Enterprises in downtown Chicago, Gotham. That's right, Gotham. The breezy city, where snotty young men skip class for hijinks-filled days out, and home of America's deadliest sandwich, the Swamp Hog. Dent glanced at all the businesses listed on the elevator's control panel and grew more weary. Each floor housed a different mega-powerful subsidiary within the larger Wayne Enterprises umbrella. There was the Aerospace Division, the Landospace Division, Novel Gases, Cliché Gases, an AI company attempting to eliminate all human joy called Bat Tech, and a mysterious floor with a bat-shaped label warning, Top Secret, Batman's only. I wonder what that department does, Harvey said. Before Rachel could answer, the elevator opened, delivering them to the party. The penthouse had an incredible panoramic view of the Gotham skyline, and was packed with folks who answered the last-minute email from Central Casting. Dent felt anxious in this world of glitz and glamour and people with a weird amount of free time midday, but at least he had the support of his dear companion Rachel, the love of his life, his rock. "Later, nerd," she said, hurrying off to join a group of old college friends. Dent's stomach burbled. Was it nerves? Or all those lunchtime swamp hogs? "Some liquid courage, sir?" someone behind him asked. He turned to find Alfred, the original Ask Jeeves, holding a tray of champagne flutes, the vinegar of the gods. Dent quickly downed 2. Yeah, that gave him courage, all right. Maybe later he'd go uptown and rattle a few cages, with his car, at the zoo. Alfred traipsed away in a foul mood. After a long day of heavy butlering, he now had to cater this whole soiree alone. It wasn't that Wayne couldn't afford a proper staff, but rather nobody wanted to work a Wayne function as they always devolved into violent mayhem. No matter how pleasant an evening, sometime around last call, pock-marked goons would inevitably burst in and start pistol-whipping everybody. Word gets around in the catering community, well known for their gossip and aversion to acute cranial fractures. Wayne gigs simply weren't worth the headache, literally. Which left Alfred circulating champagne and cocktail weenies solo. Not just professionally, either. The relentless work left him little time to cultivate a personal life. Nobody ever asks Jeeves how he's doing. He wistfully looked out at the foggy Gotham skyline and contemplated his life of quiet duty. Just that morning, he had received a weathered telegram from a certain Miss Kenton, a former housekeeper at Wayne Manor. She had recently become engaged. Long repressed memories of their time working together flooded back, of long carriage rides through cool summer rain, of brief, charged glances in the kitchen whilst preparing the delicate victuals of a goodly Christmastide feast, of a soft, accidental touch while exchanging the night porter's keys. Sadly, 'twas a romance that never blossomed, like a rose planted in sodic earth. For whenever he attempted to act upon his unyielding desires, Master Wayne would always whoosh. Bruce Wayne's helicopter swung beside the building, blasting Limp Bizkit's My Way from its external Bluetooth speakers. Alfred deflated and returned to circulating weenies. Wayne sat in the back of the chopper, flanked by 2 80s-style babes, both named Bamanda. He shouted at the pilot, "Set her down there!" The pilot hesitated. "But, sir, that's a building." "I said, set her down there." The pilot shrugged and eased the yoke forward, and the whirlybird smashed into the penthouse. Everyone inside screamed and ran for cover. Glass and metal rained down upon the street like septic fluid pouring from a Dave Matthews Band tour bus. It was the 5th helicopter Wayne destroyed that week. Bruce crawled out of the smoldering wreckage, helping both babes step over the gravely injured pilot. He then addressed the terrified crowd. "Sorry I'm late. These Bamandas had never seen the world-famous Gotham Bean, so we took a little detour. Unfortunately, some anonymous maniac flew a helicopter into it, and hot flames melted the bean into a thick reflective goo." Gasps all around. "Yes, I'm sorry to say, our beautiful bean is no more." Bruce searched the sad faces before him, each mourning the beloved bean in their own way. There was no doubt about it. He was losing the crowd. Time to pivot. "Where's Harvey? Is Harvey here?" Dent waved sheepishly in the back of the room, his suit utterly soaked with sweat. Bruce continued, "Harvey is Gotham's own hero with a face, which really is the main thing you want a hero to have." The crowd nodded in agreement because Bruce was very rich. Sure, each hero has their own cursed power. There's Fisto, with his mighty fists, Senor Clump with those devastating hooves, and then there's the Batman, with his bat-like... What are bats good at again? I'm going to say vision? Anyway, what do all these heroes all share? A face. And Harvey? He's now Gotham's main face guy, with that beautiful, singular face to which nothing bad will ever happen. The confused crowd applauded. Maybe if he likes us, they all thought, he'll give us some of his wonderful money. Bruce, growing more confident, grabbed a hot microphone. Time for what the professionals call jokes. Much later, out on the penthouse balcony, Bruce buzzed from his excellent comedy set. Yeah, he nailed it. Some partygoers were avoiding eye contact with him. Others were crying and vomiting. Rachel joined him outside, looking concerned. Were you serious in there? Are you referring to my impression of Xi Jinping? No, she said, about Harvey. Of course. He's a boon for the city. Ever since he took power, drunk hit-and-runs at the zoo have fallen 100%. It's true, she said. The apes are pleased. Bruce grew reflective. You know, it might finally be time to give up the Batman mantle. Wow, what will you do instead? She asked. I'm going to convert my secret hideout into a fast casual theme restaurant, he explained. Sort of like the Rainforest Cafe, but in a cave. We'll walk a fine and lucrative line, appealing to both Midwestern tourists who earnestly love such kitschy spectacles and irony-poisoned Brooklynites who love to mock them. The balcony door loudly burst open behind them. Who could that be? Hey guys, it's me, Harvey. It was Harvey. Man, this brisk night air feels good on my face. Almost wish I had a second face so as to enjoy it even more. Wayne rolled his eyes. Shut up, Harvey. 2 faces? That's incredibly dumb, you idiot. Down at Gotham Police HQ, Chief Gordon and Detective Ramirez hurried through an exposed brick hallway. The police station was actually a former BDSM club, recently converted with minimal effort, thanks to the many shared sensibilities of police officers and domineering perverts. Ramirez cut to the chase. Bad news, boss. That Joker playing card we found pinned to the body? It might be connected to the Joker. Gordon was impressed. So it's not the playing card killer after all. Nice detective work. There's more, she continued. Forensics found 3 sets of DNA on the card. Cirillo, Wirtz, and Dent. I'm only using their last names because it sounds way cooler. Gordon wrinkled his brow. But what does it all mean? Isn't it obvious? Ramirez said. The Joker's telling us who he's targeting next. Good Lord, Gordon replied. We gotta move. Ooh, man, this is a nice gavel. Yeah, authoritative, excellent heft, great hand feel. Oh, yeah, listen to that baby purr. Uh-huh. Yeah, here we go. It's just what... Oh, damn, I broke it. Across town, 2 burly police officers, Oliver and Bradley, escorted Judge Cirillo to her car. I don't understand, she protested. Where am I supposed to go? Even we don't know, Oliver explained. Bradley chimed in. It's like one of them spiritualized journeys, except in a car with your body. Cirillo rubbed her temples. First somebody melted our city's famous bean, and now this? Oliver shrugged. Mondays, am I right? Bradley handed her an envelope with a CDR. Open the envelope, and it'll tell you where you're going. What about the CDR, she asked. That's a road trip mix I burned. Cirillo got in her car and put the CD in the player. Life is a Highway came on. She solemnly nodded. Indeed it was. And she was about to merge onto the Danger Expressway. She ripped open the envelope. Inside was a note reading only, up. Weird. She typed up into her car's GPS. No locations found. Very weird. Maybe they just opened. Then her car exploded, the fireball launching it upwards. Oh, now I get it, she thought dyingly. As the destroyed shell of her Mercedes burned, thousands of playing cards rained down upon the scene. All jokers. My God, Bradley exclaimed. The playing card killer strikes again. Oliver shook his head with disdain. Friggin' Mondays. Up in Police Commissioner Wirtz's office, Gordon shouted commands at his minions. Seal this building. Seal this room. Seal these leftovers. In 5 minutes, I want everything to be like the buttery smooth singer of the 1994 adult contemporary hit Kiss from a Rose. A schlubby beat cop perked up. Did you know that song was originally used on the soundtrack for the Neverending Story 3 to little acclaim before being repurposed and widely popularized a year later with Batman Forever? Kinda makes you ponder the fickleness of artistic success, don't it? Gordon snapped back. Seal that mouth! Wirtz watched them from behind his desk, annoyed. Is this all really necessary, Gordon? Yes, sir, Gordon replied. We found your DNA on a playing card. Respectfully, what playing cards don't have my DNA on them? You know I'm a man of loose fluids. I do, Gordon said, wiping Wirtz's spit off his cheek. Resigned, Wirtz took out a bottle of Clybourne whiskey and poured himself a drink. The dark liquid fumed ominously. Ah, extra peaty, he said, pleased. Oh, how I loved that smoky brown. As he drank from the sizzling glass, Gordon suddenly remembered his elite police training. Whiskey doesn't smoke. But it was too late. All of Wirtz's skin melted off. He looked like a plastic skeleton hastily crammed into the discount bin of a Spirit Halloween. His career as police commissioner was surely over, because he was dead. And because skeletons make bad politicians, as we all learned during the bone crisis of '82. Back at Wayne Enterprises, Harvey and Rachel ducked out of the party. He needed to scram, and fast. All those swamp hogs with their lovely buns of grease were about to grease his buns, as Wordsworth once put it. And yet, as they passed through one of those stainless steel kitchen areas, Dent realized something. Rachel, wait. Yeah? Will you marry me? Rachel was stunned. Dent? Proposing marriage? Here in one of those stainless steel kitchen areas? It was just how she imagined it as a little girl. Harvey grimaced at her slow response. Please hurry, my dear. These putrid guts of mine are on a rumbling fan boat straight to the bayou. But she shook her head indecisively. Dent sighed. I see. I guess it's no, then. So tell me, is there someone else? It's not Wayne, is it? That guy's a real... Wayne wrapped his thick arm around Harvey's neck in a brutal sleeper hold, by far his favorite kind of hold. Lights out, compadre, Wayne said, wrinkling his nose. Hey, was someone cooking swamp hogs? Across the party, Alfred decided enough was enough. He couldn't live his life in someone else's story. He was going to steal that lousy Batmobile and rocket across the Gotham countryside to his dear Miss Kenton. If he hurried, he could intercept her wedding. And then maybe, just maybe... Ding! The elevator opened. Out stepped a pock-marked goon, pistol in hand, ready for some good old-fashioned whipping.
Thank you, Michael Torpey. We'll be back with more Novelizers right after this.
We are back. Each week on the show, we interview someone who actually worked on the film The Dark Knight. And this week, we're talking to The Dark Knight's assistant editor. Not even sure what that means, but I guess we'll find out. Let's hear that interview.
How's it going, everybody? We are back again with the interview portion of the Novelizers. I am here with Brandon, who was the assistant editor for the...
Technically, it was the assistant editor.
He is the assistant editor for the movie The Dark Knight. Explain to the audience and me, mainly me. Audience may know already.
Sure.
This is new to me. What is an assistant editor?
Yeah, so it's actually not that common. It's just when you're working on big pictures like Mr. Nolan likes to make, one assistant editor isn't enough. An assistant to the assistant, now that's a completely different job. It takes a huge team to make one of these movies into what it is, the blockbusters that they are.
Yes.
So you need an assistant editor, you need an assistant editor. And so I do a lot of the stuff that an assistant editor would do, but on a much smaller scale.
So could you give us an example of what that would look like from the smaller scale of it?
So as you know, this is the first film that was in IMAX, right? And so it was a lot of moving spools around, making sure that those got to where they had to get to, and also like looking at the film on the spools. And those are really heavy.
Yes.
And so you have to hit the gym. You have to make sure that your arms are strong enough to look at that film. And then you can tell Mr. Nolan and Lee what's happening in each spool.
It takes working out to do that?
I mean, IMAX, that's heavy film.
Okay.
You know, like a regular film roll, so small, you can move it, anyone can move it. But an IMAX film roll,
yeah,
it takes some movement.
Takes some lifting.
It takes some lifting.
Yeah. So when I hear the word, and I think probably a lot of people when they hear the word assistant, we're thinking coffee, we're thinking Starbucks, donuts. But when I hear assistant, I'm thinking manicures, pedicures. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm thinking like how do you shake that title? Because I'm pretty sure it has a bad like taste in your mouth when it comes to that.
Honestly, it doesn't have a bad taste because you don't see, like maybe if this was another filmmaker, you know, maybe I would be doing coffees, manicures, pedicures.
Yeah.
But this is Mr. Nolan.
Gotcha.
You know, so this is, I'm working in there, I'm cutting film, physically cutting IMAX film and having to duct tape that back together because regular tape's not going to do the job. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also like, I'm in the edit bay, you know, I'm throwing in my 2 cents every now and again, but you know, there's an allotment because I'm an assistant editor. I can't constantly be saying my thoughts. So once an hour, I'm allowed to quickly throw an idea out there and hope that they accept it.
Just once an hour.
Only once an hour.
Once an hour. Okay. I mean, that's a good odds though.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's better than bringing coffee. I'll tell you that.
That's pretty good. So when you talk about being the small part, physically cutting and editing and everything like that, was there anything in the movie that didn't make the cut? Pun intended.
You know, Mr. Nolan, he's on record that everything made the final film. You know, he said he's on record saying that. But, you know, there were some scenes that, thanks to my suggestion, actually didn't make the cut. Scenes that I thought were maybe a little bit superfluous, didn't really move the story forward.
Do you mind maybe giving us just a little bit of insight about what that was?
I mean, you're lucky. The NDA ran out just yesterday. You're really lucky about that.
Yes.
So there's one scene where Bruce is being served a full English breakfast from Pennyworth.
Are we talking about English breakfast, baked beans,
the
egg, the sausage?
It gets on his shirt. Yeah. And so he's like, oh, okay, I need something stainless. So he puts the suit on. So there he is sitting in the full bat suit, eating a full English breakfast. And I was just like, Mr. Nolan, I'm just going to use my one right here. I think we can cut this scene. And he looked at me. He sent me home that day.
Really?
But the next day, he thanked me.
That's how it always is.
It really is.
When you're at the top, they're going to say no every time. Then they're going to sit back and think about it. Like, you know what? It was right.
Yeah. And he actually thanked me on a phone call.
Okay.
And told me that if anyone asks, it was his idea. I was just like, you know what? I'm just the assistant editor.
Yeah.
I'll get my due someday.
Yeah. And it happened the second the NDA ended yesterday. And now it's time to get your due.
Exactly. Now I'm getting my due. That was me. That was me.
Exactly. With you having the ability to physically cut it yourself, NDA's gone now. Was there anything that you cut that no one knew you cut?
Okay. NDA's gone. Hopefully this doesn't get me in any trouble.
Oh, then Novelizers, we don't get anybody in trouble here.
But the phone call between Maggie Gyllenhaal and Aaron Eckhart when they're both tied up and the fire's going to go, that phone call was a lot longer. It used to be a lot more conversation because there's a lot of time. There was some time, you know, that they could talk. And so it was just a lot. They got into small talk at one point because Christopher, you know, he wanted them to feel natural in the role and kind of like just feel it out, improv it a little bit. And so then it just got kind of like, it was like, oh, lovey-dovey. And then it got into like, hey, like, what's it look like over there? How are you feeling? What's the weather? At one point, Aaron said, what's the weather? And I was just like, there's no way that they're going to want this in the film. I don't even know if Aaron's going to want this in the film. And so I just took my big shears and cut that thing.
Like in front of a building, like grand opening?
Kind of like a grand opening. You know, those are the only scissors that are going to cut film that big, you know?
Exactly.
So you got to cut it.
Yeah.
And I think no one really noticed, thankfully. I think I saw Aaron kind of like raise an eyebrow during the premiere, but I think everyone's happier now.
Thank you for that. We was already like just, he was talking too much anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just like we know we're kind of thinking like she should be with Bruce. Like the audience is kind of feeling that they just kissed, and now this is happening. I'm like, let's just shorten that a little bit.
Yeah, and I feel like it was some dumb questions in that monologue anyway. I mean that conversation. I think someone asked, "What's around you?"
Yeah,
no death.
Like,
I don't know how to answer the question.
I'm not going to really. You're not the detective. You're not going to save me.
Exactly. We're both in the same situation here.
Yeah, so now that's out there. Sorry, Chris.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. How was life like on the set?
So, everyone was, I have to say, everyone's professional. Christian, I'll say, like, he was very much in Bruce mode. He wrote me a check for $10,000 to get him a coffee. And normally that's not my job. That's an assistant's job, like a straight up assistant. But I was like, $10,000, I'll get you a cup of coffee.
I'd have got him a cup of coffee for $10.
The thing that got me in the end was he signed the check Bruce Wayne.
You can't cash
You can't cash a check signed Bruce Wayne.
I think of it like a little assistant hazing. You know what I'm saying? Like
maybe.
New guy on set. Let's razz him a little bit.
I was like, okay, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah. Did you go all the way to the bank first? Or?
I was at the bank and they said, are you sure you want to cash this? I was like, yeah, $10,000. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
And they're like, look again, friend. And I went, geez, Lou.
Yeah. Without you, without what you do as the assistant, Christian Bale is just, he's not Bruce Wayne, he's Christian Bale.
He's eating breakfast in a Batman costume looking ridiculous.
You see what I'm saying? He's not that guy, So how does it feel knowing that he's the one that's revered as one of the greatest, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to that movie?
It really does take a team. When you're an assistant editor, you realize that it takes a lot more than just you to get this picture rolling. And so when Christian's getting his accolades, I'm happy for him. When Lee won the Oscar for editing the film, I was happy for him. He made me a smaller version of the Oscar. It's about this big.
Oh, like a souvenir.
I honestly see it as a huge reward. It's probably the most thing I'm most proud of, honestly.
Can I be frank with you about something?
Sure.
And I hope it's okay.
Okay.
I feel like you're selling yourself short.
Oh.
I feel like there's more to what you do. And based on what you've told me, you weren't getting the credit you deserved on set. I don't think they were treating you with respect. Like writing a check and then signing Bruce Wayne. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's kind of harsh.
I mean, I really have to think that's him being in character, and that wasn't a mean-spirited prank. But I appreciate. It takes a lot of people, and Lee says that someday I will reach that assistant editor position. But, I just got to put in about like 20 more films, and then hopefully I'll get to even half as good as he is. He's really a whiz, and I'm learning. And I mean, they pay me now, which is great.
They pay you now?
Yeah.
Did you not get paid?
No, it used to be in college credit, which was tough because I'd already graduated. But, we did 3 films off college credit. Yeah. And, that was a learning process. I was like, maybe I'll cash these in. You can't really cash those in. You can't exchange those for cash.
Yeah, you can't.
I learned that the hard way too.
Yeah.
But, right now we're getting paid now. So, it takes steps.
Okay. Like I said, it's like, as I'm hearing you talk, your answers seem very, how like when a quarterback from a football team just got obliterated. The whole organization's in shambles. It's a team effort. You know what I'm saying? We're a team. We do team things. That's what it was giving me. So I apologize if I overstepped by assuming that you weren't getting the credit you deserved. Have you ever thought about having an assistant yourself, like an assistant editor?
I've literally dreamed of it.
Okay.
Those are the nicest sleeps I've ever had in my life. Where I'm not the one carrying the big shears, cutting the film.
It got to be good to hold the shears, though, right? It seems like it's a bit.
It's really cool after the first couple pictures, but then you realize just like the load it takes on you, and especially if it's a big film, you're shearing a lot of IMAX rolls. Yeah, it's a
lot of forearm work you're going.
Exactly, you're getting tired by the end of the day. So to have someone else that would be doing that, oh my goodness, or someone who would bring me a coffee.
I get it. I get it.
That
Makes sense.
Would be nice.
Yeah, it would. It would be very, very nice. Someone bringing you coffee. Yeah.
But of course, I would want it to be an assistant to the assistant editor.
Oh, so it wouldn't be an assistant. It's an assistant to the assistant.
So it'd be, if it was an assistant editor, that would make me think that they have some sort of video editing responsibilities.
Gotcha.
But if it's an assistant to the assistant editor, then that's someone who's strictly my assistant. They're probably doing
part is
calendar
very important.
Stuff. Yeah, the to the is huge in this industry.
Got you. Okay. Got you. So I want you to do me a favor. This season with Novelizers, we're trying to encourage new people. We're trying to encourage people to do these jobs that a lot of people don't know about. So if you could say anything to inspire somebody who's looking to be an assistant. We're not worried about assistants. We're only talking to the assistants. If you could speak to them in some way to kind of inspire them, what would you say to them?
Absolutely. I would say start hitting the gym now. You want to put the time in for your arms because those IMAX rolls aren't getting any lighter. And I'd also say if you have an eye for film, it's the perfect job for you,
Yeah.
It allows you to stay in shape and also allows you to, have influence on some of the biggest films of our generation. So I'd say if you're interested in both those things, assistant editor could be for you.
Not a problem. Now, is there anything you want to say to Christopher Nolan before we get off? Are you good saying anything to him? Or?
Thank you so much for truly everything you've ever given me. And I would be literally dust without you. And if you need me, whatever you need me, I'll be there. Like editing family films, I'll do that too. Anything you need, Mr. Nolan.
All right.
I love you.
All right, everybody. This is thank you, Brandon,
for
joining us. You guys have a good one.
Wow. I don't know about you, Stephen, but I sure learned a whole lot. Thank you, Kevin and Brandon. Stephen, I'm calling it. That's our show. You, the listener, join us next week when we'll be joined by Paul Scheer, a show business multi-hyphenate. And fine young man, super talent.
Can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Not to be, let you in behind the scenes, but we actually recorded that. We already talked to him.
Little insight. So we know it's going to happen.
I know it's going to happen. I'm acting like I don't know, but I know. We just did it.
We did it.
It's going to be a great one. I can't wait to talk to him. Thanks to this week's guests, Michael Torpey, Joe Veix, and Brandon Dzirko. And I'm just gonna say it. Thank you, Stephen Levinson.
Aw, thank you, Dave.
A delight as always. The Novelizers is hosted by me, Dave Hill, with Stephen Levinson, and produced by Stephen, Dennis DeClaudio, Cole Emhoff, Graham Douglas, Kevin Carter, Christine Boland, Rob Kuttner, and Marla Radner, and distributed by Cincinnati Public Radio. Editing and mixing by Graham Douglas. Music by Cole Emhoff. Theme song by Andrew Lynn, recorded by Knots. Additional editing by Andrew Lynn and Sunita Haberline. Special thanks to Brad Combs in Parabolic Studio in Manhattan. Follow The Novelizers on Instagram and support us on Patreon. The Novelizers is written and recorded without the use of AI. The Novelizers is an unauthorized work of parody. Copyright 2025, Novelizers, LLC.
What are you reaching for? If you're a smoker or dipper, you could be reaching for so much more with Zyn nicotine pouches. When you reach for Zyn, you're reaching for 10 satisfying varieties and 2 strengths for a smoke-free and spit-free experience that lets you lean in, for chances to break free from your routine, and a unique nationwide community. Whatever you're reaching for, reach for it with America's #1 nicotine pouch brand. Find your Zyn wherever nicotine products are sold near you. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.